can overwhelm even humans and need never be afraid? Yes, she replied. The monument proves it. Were this to occur commonly, they would not put up a monument. Terrorists do have their monuments. 9/11, October the 7th, but they should never have their victories over our common humanity. Yes, one can find plenty of reasons to criticize Israel in its war in Gaza, but no one who cherishes freedom and democracy should forget that Hamas represents the worst of the anti-democratic faces of this world. So what many who call Gaza an open-air prison have to be told is that the guardian of the prisoners within that prison is Hamas, is not Israel. Having Hamas been elected power, which instead of seeking the destruction of Israel with the support of Iran, would seek the freedom and prosperity of its people through a democratic rule, I would be the first to say that Israel is wrong and should be stopped and treated like an aggressor against a peace-seeking neighbor. But although I suffer like every human being witnessing what is happening in Gaza, I am unable to give my benefit of doubt to Hamas, which is the daily torture of its people since so many years in power, and in which fight I frankly don't find anything more noble than in the fight of ISIS or of Nazis against the humanity. Unfortunately, no one has yet invented a method of overpowering violence in self-defense without force. And again, we are of course very aware that what is happening in the territories where the people of Israel and the people of Palestine live is something that must end as soon as possible. Albania has voted more than once in the United Nations for immediate ceasefire, but in the meantime, we have never doubted that the ceasefire that would not include the release of all hostages is anything but a boost for Hamas. We have also stood since long time, and we firmly stand for the two-state solution as the only path forward towards a long-standing peace. But for us, this means Hamas out of the picture and reliable political representation backed by all Arab states on the Palestinian side. On the other hand, I'm quite aware that all what we can say is still much easier said than done, because by no doubt, to fight and win against terror in the front line is much more difficult and complicated than to lecture the fighters from far away, while the innocent hostages in the hands of butchers are not your own people, but the people of a country which was taught by history in the hardest way that when the life of a single person is taken away by the enemy just because of his, her nationality, the life of the whole nation is in peril. In this common struggle against terror, against anti-Semitism, radicalism, and all the evils of the world we live on, Albania stands firmly by the side of all of them that are not ready to forget the grave lessons of history and either to relive a past that cost it to the humanity the most horrendous pains. Our grandfathers taught us the value of standing with the Jews by putting their lives in line to protect them from the butchers of World War II. And they also taught the world that there was only honor in being Muslims and sheltering the Jews in their homes.